I'm gonna.
Of
course you are.
I'm stuck on the drumstick a little bit.
I'm recording, so you can start whenever.
With a crying baby in the background.
Bro, I reset my fucking stats there. And then I couldn't get them on in time.
Is everybody over here?
Almost there.
Should be.
Almost there.
We'll give it another minute or two.
Here now.
The fuck is that?
Did you want to start off, Clumps, or did you want me to start it off and then you do the quadrants?
You can start it off.
So yeah, both Flaccid and I are sick as dogs tonight, so we're not going to talk a whole heap. We're just going to get into clump training because there's obviously, even for myself, a lack of understanding with quadrants. So we've just got to get that up to a base standard for everyone. That way, we're always doing the minimum. We understand what the quadrants are, where the quadrants are, what their roles are for each quadrant, how we react to the quadrants, where we fight with quadrants, retaking those quadrants, etc., etc. So it's basically just everything quadrants. And yeah, the effect that it has on the war and the importance of it all. So we'll hook in, and Clumps is going to run us through setting up the quadrants and what they look like and those sorts of things.
Perfect. Let's all start running out the front gate, out B gate. Head out to where the first point will be.
Yes, sir.
Take it on, Doug.
So we look over here on our right side. What's that?
Bonfire, mate.
Bonfire. Bonfire. That's how we distinguish what side's what. There'll be bonfire side and oppo side from that. Where's top left? Can I get everyone to move to top left?
Are we defending?
We're defending, yes, we're defending. We came out of the fort.
Oh.
Yep, good job, good job. Bottom right. Awesome.
Much further. This is it. Yeah.
So we all know our positions then. That's good. That's good. So where are our bruises meant to be?
In the front, mate.
In the front. Where our IGVG's meant to be?
Can I
In
answer
the front.
again? Right behind me, mate.
Just put damage on Barry, man.
Right behind you. Correct.
I have to do it.
So-
I won't have enough time to respond.
When we're playing in our quadrants, what are we aiming to do? We're correct. Thank you, Fion. We're trying to take space, not damage. Damage is bad. That gets us killed. But we want to try and control and own space. So can I get Group 1 to top left, Group 2 to top right, Group 3 to bottom left, and Group 4 to bottom right?
Whoops.
You're not in my group, mate. I think he means raid group.
Raid group. I mean, is Dialot in chat? I don't think so. Or G.
Jar's is AFK, but it looks like, yeah, all good.
All good, all good. So, when we're in our quadrants here, obviously the point's going to be in the middle where this grav well is. We can draw an imaginary line. So say I'm top left up here with Group 1 where I'm jumping. I want to draw an imaginary line from Miller's group over here all the way across Phantom's group over here. That's the sort of area that we can play in. We've got this sort of, what would you call it, 180 degree arc that we can use, but we can only leave our corner, our area over here, if it's clear. So if we're fighting up here and, you know, not much is going on, they've pushed around to the rear, or they're more heavy on Biz's side over there near Bonfire, that's when we can sort of rotate over a bit and start helping them take space on this side. But as soon as people start coming back to our area over here, we got to get back there and start playing around there. Now, when Breaker calls bombs in center, that's when you drop what you're doing in your quadrant, if it's not completely fucked. So if you can just get away nice and easy, yep, perfect, turn around, do a bomb on point, and then we're resetting back to our controlled space. while we're sitting in our controlled space, we're going to be doing a lot of auto-clicking. We're just doing that so we can build up our heart runes for that next bomb when breaker calls, or if your group does find a very juicy bomb, you can do that. I do highly recommend not everyone use everything in it though. You always want to have at least 1 or 2 grav wells to throw in and contribute to the main bomb on point. But this is what we're sort of aiming for. We don't want to be playing on the point over here, otherwise we're just all getting clumped up and we're just getting killed. Which is not good.
With the exception, like, with groups 1 and 2 would be...
With
like
the exception of group 1 and 2. Group 1 and 2, your job is to control this center space in here.
That's
this
war
center
roster
space
group 1 or 2.
is correct. And as war roster 1 and 2, you can move back and forward, side to side as needed. You know, say if there's a bomb over on the right hand side, on bonfire side, you know, the tanks can sort of move into the edge, provide a bit of support for that bomb. But yeah, mainly you want to keep ticking the point. What's that, Fan?
Yeah, keep the tick, sorry.
Yeah, keep the tick. Keep the tick. And to keep the tick, you don't have to be standing in the center of the point. You can just tiptoe your feet in and out of the edge of the fucking point. You don't have to be in there full time. You can just bob and weave in and out of it. That'll keep tick going. So if it is looking really heavy and you are a tad squishier, just tiptoe around the edge. Any little bit of tick helps. What else have we got? And so when the bruisers are going in for their bombs and all that sort of stuff, we want our VGIGs. Have we got anyone that's VGIG at the moment?
Yeah, bro.
Yep. Perfect. So with your VG... Oh, you're chucking it on? I'll chuck one on too. So with our VGIGs, your role is to control not control the area, and just you want to make it a prick for the enemies. So you see how we just placed that sort of in the middle? You kind of really want to be spreading it out as much as you can so we can cover as much area as possible. And then chucking your ice showers in. Say if they're pushing in heavy from top of road up here and they're running down, then VGIGs we need the top 2 groups, so top left and top right. Your VGIGs should really be putting their ice showers on the top left and right of point. Yep. And then chucking their showers down accordingly as well along here, so that when they do go to retreat, correct.
Or if they've got to go around, it's wide there.
Yeah, it's wide and then it's slow. And same goes with your VG, putting down your Oblivions. You want to kind of try and spread them out as much as you can as well. Try and cover more area. And then healers, I'm not much of a healer expert. It's tough. It's very tough as a healer. There's a lot of people that are going to be obviously trying to get you and kill you. It's really important that you do relay comms to your group and let them know if you are getting pressured, so they can pull off of what they're doing and come and help you. Because if you go down, then they can't really fight that much anymore. So that's very important in comms, to make sure that you've got good comms with your healer.
What I was told too with healing is you just need to be also unkillable and very self-reliant. Help's always good, but you need to be working on being unkillable and healing your group.
You'll find the point, your group 1, 2, the 2 point groups, the tanking ones will try and create space for you to have a pocket behind them. So that further up, like up the top.
That space is going to be sort of mid, around that shower sort of area. You'll be playing here, sort of in the middle, protected by both the rear groups and your own top group. If you do try and get peeled or something, and no one can get to you or anything like that, and you are getting pushed, go through point. Go through the edge of point. You know, the assassins aren't going to follow you into the bomb or through the point. It's too heavy for them. They're just as squishy as you are. If you go running out into the bloody woods to try and peel away, they're just going to fucking track you down and kill you.
And maybe don't stand in the middle of the point if you're a healer by yourself too.
And don't stand in the middle of the point if you're a healer by yourself. No, definitely not. But if that ice shower's the point and you're getting pushed, you just go through, do your bloody, what's the little swirly move with your rapier?
Flurry, I think.
Fletch.
Or whatever. Fletch.
Flurry, fletch, whatever it is. Just use that, peel back through and wrap back around into your area. let your group know that you've got to dip for a second. Your bruisers could chuck a Path of Destiny through and whatnot. Give you a little hand.
I don't think curly whirly now. I want a curly whirly.
Once we're done with this clumps, can I talk to you about like sort of what builds we need and stuff and go over some shits?
Easy done, dude.
Cheers.
Go Breaker.
Okay. I was going to say with that too, with what Clumps was saying with in and out and moving around with healers and tanks and ice storms and all that's getting comms within your groups as well. So the groups will be micromanaging their own comms and placements of things and whatnot. The shot caller won't be micromanaging callouts for ice storms, this, that, and everything else. It'll get to the point where it's fairly expected that you're managing that yourselves. Yeah, so the comms will have to sort of ramp up a little bit, but we'll get used to that as we keep playing with statics once the Christmas roster comes back.
100%. A good rule of thumb for the point when you're safe just for your VGIGs with your ice storms and showers is if you're top left, then you put your shower on the top left side of point. And then top right does the same thing. Bot right, yeah.
Quadrants have popped.
And just you're looking after your quadrants.
Yeah.
Because that obviously stops people from like double stacking on the same spot, right?
Yeah.
100%.
More area.
Yeah, 100%. Because if you're double stacking on top of each other, it's not achieving anything.
It's still not.
You know,
A little bit of overlap's not going to be the end of the world, but
a little bit's
maximum
fine.
Sort of thing.
But you don't want them
I mean, like
right on top.
how big's the zone? I mean, like four in the corners could pretty much cover the whole thing. But then that kind of leaves a middle free.
You'll keep dropping.
Middle's
Like,
got
either
two
work it
IGs.
as you do it.
Yeah, and we've got to remember there are what 6 groups in the clump.
Yeah.
So group 1 and 2 they
There's
do have
one
the
with
point
4
covered.
going off.
Yeah, as long as you aim for thereabouts and think about what you're doing, as you get better and the groups get better, you'll just tweak it and adjust and be a bit more fluent with it.
Yeah,
But it's just knowing that it exists, you know.
And like think a bit about it when you are doing it. Like if the point's pretty well covered, or if say the whole left hand side of the point's not got any fights going on it, and everyone's fighting on the right side, then back the right up a bit. Go a bit further back with your shower or storm.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to make it so that they can't get in, do their bombs, and then just run out freely. We want it to be painful for them. We want them to have to really work for it.
Yeah. If you want to come in, you got to get hurt to do it.
100%. You got to get hurt, and you're not just going in free and coming out free.
Yeah. I like hurting people.
Maybe the mage placement.
Mage placement. Now, that is a sort of tough one. There's no real exact safe spot for you. It's kind of wherever's safest at the time of that war. You know, if they're heavy running through our back lines, you might have to run over and play on bonfire side. Or you know, you sort of just got to rotate away from the assassins wherever they are. And if there are assassins, make sure you do comet to your group lead, so your group lead can let Breaker know in chat that we're getting pushed real hard in our back line. And for all we know, we might have to rotate our assassins back through, do a quick cleanup of the assassins and whatnot, and get that area free again, so you can keep casting.
So essentially, mages need to be fluent and again, like unkillable and calm any troubles. Is their freedom of movement sort of thing.
100%. You just want to be free and look around while you're fighting. Don't just sit there focusing the one point, putting all your abilities in the exact one spot. Well, you know, dump some abilities, have a suss around, just be a bit more situationally aware, and you'll find that you survive a lot longer. You play the exact same as a healer, because you're going to be just as, if not squishier, than a healer. And sorry, when we do those point bombs, that is when mages need to really help out on those bombs. That's the big damage that you're going to be getting. Theon's probably the number one to talk to for that. Man cracked some pretty big numbers last night in war.
Did he?
You there, Finn?
Yeah.
You got any tips or anyone on that?
Yo.
Any tips? Don't die. Just
That is a
keep
great tip.
spamming your spells. Like, I don't know, there's not much to it other than just keep spamming.
Yeah.
Heavy auto attack to get mana back.
Yep. Heavy auto.
I can show you my AoE tree if you want, if that will help. I'll just put my whole build up in the.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I've got a question.
Shoot.
Yesterday there was probably 2 counter bombs as well, so we set up. They came in with maybe half a bomb, and we bombed on that, and then they came. I think they were wrapped around and came into us as well. So how do we disengage, or is there a call, or?
So do you all know what your cleansers are? Cleanse pots?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep. I hope you do. No, you don't.
There's a few notes.
So in the everyone come into war camp with me. I'm going to here for now.
With the ice shower too, you get a speed boost. There's a perk. It's good for you to get your teams out of when they're getting, chased.
100%. If your mages or your healers are getting pushed or anything like that, VGIGs, you can give them a little boost, drop a shower down. So with cleanse pots, if we look at the front left here of camp, there's this thing called the armory. We can't access it at the moment, but in wars, we can come up to here, tap your E button, and you can buy 2 lots of cleanse pots. It'll give you 6 cleanse pots, and they will remove all debuffs, all stuns, everything for 3 seconds. That's how you declump. So say we got a big bomb put on us, we can press our I don't know what button you guys would have it set on, but I've got mine set on 3. So say we get bombed, I'd pop number 3, have my cleanse pot, and you're free to walk out. You can't get stunned and shit. You can get out so much easier.
So you want to pretty much have one of those pots handy, so if you get fucking bombed, then pop that, and then it's nullified essentially.
100%.
Straight up.
Always buy it. There's haste pots in there as well. As you get further into the war and say you need to respawn and run back, as long as you got cleanse pots on you, then you can buy maybe one haste pot to get back to point or whatever quicker. But the main thing we want to be using here is the cleanse pots, because they are massive. They'll take all.
So is that only for the attackers, or is there a spot to buy them on defense as well?
There's a spot. So the two shops at the front of the fort, and there's also 2 at the back of fort.
You can also buy them on the points as well.
Correct. So once we take a point, you can run up to the center flag, and you can buy them from there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that'll help you a lot. But even before your health pot, pop a cleanse pot, because if you got plague or anything like that on you, your healing pot's not going to do shit to you. So pop a cleanse pot, then pop your health, and that'll get you a full health pot worth of health.
Just to be clear,
so
buy 2 on spawn. Like when we first get into war, buy 2 on spawn immediately. You have the coins for that, and then as we do stuff during the war, you get more coins, so you can rebuy further into the war.
Correct. Any questions on?
Are you going to tell them about the siege and all that, or no point?
Oh, no point just yet. No point just yet.
Okay.
A question for groups 1 and 2 heavy bruisers. What's the main role for them?
To your main role as 1 and 2, you're big fat heavy boys that just want to live on and around the point to assist in bombs, create tick, create pressure, and just try and hold that center area. So if you're a tank and there's a bomb happening on right side, you got to be going up. You want to be holding your shield up, because where are you, Breaker? Can you hold your right click for us? Can everyone see this ring?
I want to see lots of that. Yes.
See this ring around here that Breaker's got? If you were inside this ring while he's holding his shield up, you'll take 30% less damage flat. Nothing can take that away until he puts his shield down.
So good.
So the tanks need to move in with that while the bomb's happening, so that our boys that are in there are getting 30% less damage. And then once the bomb goes away, he can sort of mosey on back a bit to point and keep ticking away and doing what he's doing.
So with that ability, is that just passive, or does it require a certain shield type as well?
No, it doesn't matter what shield type you got. It's a passive.
So as long as this shit's spinning around me, it's active,
defensive
right?
Defensive formation on the defender tree of sword and shield. The very last one you get.
Okay, cool.
Another one, regroups and respawn. So some of the time we would lose, say half the guys, and do we go back to our groups to be respawning, but then you see other groups spread across the place? So what's the call there? Do we have a central regroup?
So if we do get really split, Breaker will make a call to regroup, and when he does make that call, you've either got to die there on the spot if you're currently fighting, so we can respawn all together, or if you are already spawning, just sit around a bit, wait around flag. You don't have to push up. Don't go in and die on your own. Wait for your group at least, because we're trying to regroup. Yeah, we're trying to get our numbers back. We don't want to keep bleeding in 5-10 people at a time. We want a 50v50.
I want to regroup the tanky boys up, group 1 and 2. For as long as we're still alive, we start to retreat going back, right?
Yeah, well, you can calm that between you. If you're getting pressured and it's looking like you're just going to die, you can pull back a bit if Breaker calls for a full regroup. But if he doesn't, then obviously he's with you, so just stick with him, do what he says, and everyone else, he might call for everyone else to regroup.
Yeah, and that's something that'll come with experience and whatever happens, sort of thing. If I've got, 4 tanks and a couple bruisers and 4 healers around me, I know we can pull back 15 meters and survive for 30 seconds, and I'll call that. But if I think we're going to get wiped, I might call the death, or I might just pull right out of it and give up the point, so we don't, as Clump said, come running in 10 at a time. Because if we make that wrong call and say the 10 or 15 of us near point go down, and then I've got the other 35 coming in, well, now you've got 35v50, whereas if we had it pulled out, it'd be a 50v50.
Yeah. All right. So let's push out as if we were in a war. So how are we pushing out of this gate?
Move, mate.
Miller at the front.
All right. What are we doing?
I'm gonna go
wide
take
as well. Don't all clump up. Spread wide. So top right should be on the right side.
You'll notice on
like that, yeah.
the VODs as well, which is up on our YouTube. When I say go left and right, like generally there's a big group of people running down the road. When we go left and right, you'll see them match it. I think last fall we said even shoot down the middle a little bit, because we split them up. So you give them split focus and they can't just drop everything willy-nilly on you.
100%. And if you're running straight at them and it's looking like you're not going to be able to get through, there's a massive wall of them, say, in front of you, just start veering a bit right or a bit left. Most of the time, they just W key and just keep going straight forward, and you can just walk straight around them and come in behind them, and you're just on their squishies.
And you're getting instant crits on their back.
100%.
Also,
So yeah, when we're running over, so we're at B point now. We've just capped B, and we want to start pushing over towards C. So when we're pushing over, we want to be sort of spreads, maybe like we are now, sort of. It's pretty good. No 2 or 3 or 4 people can get caught in one grav well. If you do bunch up too hard and you are like, in each other's asses, that's when, they throw one grav well and 5 people are stuck, dead, and bombed. We're not trying to create bombing opportunities for them. We're trying to come over. We're not trying to be too far away where we're on our own, but we want to be far enough apart that they can't just throw one grav well and have us all pulled into it.
Yeah, and again, it's in the same logic as the respawns with, say, 15 and 35. If 15 people get caught in grav wells for 8 seconds or whatever it is, then you've only got 35 people pushing into point, and it's going to either slow everything down, or those 35 people are going to be fighting 50. So the better we can get there as a group with speed, the easier it will be, or less difficult.
100%. So if I'm where this grab well is, if I'm center of point, where do we want to be engaging them and fighting when you come over?
Up here.
Where are we? Who said that?
Attacking, depending.
We're attacking. We're attacking.
Up here.
You're attacking past the point, right? Or
Yeah, you got to go straight past the point, boys. Go to the opposite side.
Oh,
because if we're standing just in this one point, then they're just going to run all their respawns straight down the road here, and there's no contest for them. We want to be pushing through to this other side quickly, just to give them a little shove back, and then as soon as we've done that little push, we want to start bringing our quadrants back up to play. So the top left, top right, they can move back into position and start playing around this sort of roadside area. This is a very, very heavily trafficked area. Every person that respawns is going to be trying to come through here, and we don't want to let them just filter in. Otherwise, it's just free movement, and it's just not generating enough pressure for us for the point.
That's ultimately where, say, your top left, top right would support that, right, with your kill squads once the
100%. 100%. Kill squads will be more ramparty with their fighting. They'll be a little bit deeper up here, picking off the more solo players that come out. As they sort of come down here, they're going to start to meet us, and that'll group them up a bit naturally. That's where them two bruiser groups, the top left and top right, will come into play. We want this whole area here just to be an absolute shit fest for them. We want them to not want to come through here, and we want them to either have to jump over this left or right rampart.
So, how far can these quadrants fight? So, say if I'm the point here with my circle, how far can these top left and top right quadrants push up?
So, what does anyone remember what we just spoke about earlier with them?
This is probably the end of my quadrant.
Where are you? Where are you, Biz?
Over here, to the right, to the right side.
Yeah,
I just use bonfire as a
bonfire. That's a good call. So you'd go from, say, on a diagonal from probably about bonfire straight across breaker onto this opposite side rampart on these rocks over here, and you'll be going. That's for front right, and then front left. Yours will be the opposite. You'll be from this rock over here where that grav well is, diagonally across towards Flaccid or Biz. Obviously, this can change slightly if breaker calls. Breaker's calls are final, but those sort of areas are your default areas. Basically, you want to draw a big cross through the point, and each corner can help their neighbouring parties. So top right can help top left and bottom right. Bottom right can help bottom right. Bottom right can help bottom left and top right. Left can help bottom right and top left, and so on.
They can essentially just help.
You can help two quadrants each.
You get two quadrants plus the point.
Play at a 90-degree angle.
You have that overlap.
180.
It's
180.
So you're essentially like fighting in triangles, essentially, like.
Yeah. Basically, we're splitting it up into. You
have 180 degrees
of a pizza.
Yeah, fight.
Right. Where is it?
And if we've got our top quadrants fighting up the top here, then our bottom quadrants can help push
move up
to the top of the point.
Move up,
Yeah. If
that top left, top right position, basically.
So if our backlines fine and there's no one here, then you can push up a bit. Push up and fight where the fight is.
Past the bonfire and all that.
You don't have to be just standing there doing nothing. But if you're from bottom right and you're up helping top right, and people start coming into our backlines, then that's on you to be keeping your eyes out and to turn back and start looking after your quadrant again.
You guys have ownership of your quadrant before anything else.
Yeah, responsible for your own quadrants and helping your neighbours out when your quadrant's free for a little bit.
When your quadrant's quiet, you put you to help out the others out.
So and then while that's happening with, say the quadrants shifted forward a bit, clumps in that scenario, group points 1 and 2 would be sticking around the flag, sort of supporting where they can, but keeping that tick on and presence, right?
Correct. So group 1 and 2, you'll be your quadrant's the point. This circle, right? You can help out any of the other quadrants. So you want to be living here, center a point. Say there's a bomb up here on Gravwell. You can push forward a bit with your tanks and your IGVGs to help out. Do some abilities, hold your shield up so you can help out them bombs. You're now supporting the fellas. Once those bombs sort of die off, you can start tipping back to point. You don't want to just be staying up here 24/7, but you can just move forward a bit, help them bombs a bit.
you guys save the bruisers, basically, the tank, so if you see a bomb, just run into it and put your shield up.
Correct. You're our armor. Because we're only medium. As tanky as bruisers can be, you're not that tanky in war.
Yeah.
Just gonna stream this for everyone if people can have a quick suss. I'll just show you the quadrants bit. You know what? Maybe I should open up a paint.
You can draw on that.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, but I'm terrible at drawing though. Alright, so I'm just gonna blow up B. Well, where are we here? I'm just gonna
arrows and circles in place if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. So B point. Is that fading in? Yeah, it is. We'll turn that off. We've got 16 megapixels. Alright. Excuse my drawing. Bloody terrible. But see how I've drawn a cross through B?
Yep.
So that'll essentially be top right, top. It's kind of weird because it's on an angle. Top left, bottom left, bottom.
Actually pretty neat considering.
Right. So top right up over here. You guys can help out. Bottom right, top left, and point. Top left, there. Point group. You guys can help out anyone. You know, push up, help out a bit, go back to point, push out, help a bit. Do we have any of the... Just prioritize tick. If you're top right and, you know, your area is pretty clear and whatnot, you can start working the point a little bit, touch these edges. You don't have to go all the way into the center. You can just walk around this lip. That's what I do, just tiptoeing, I call it.
Is that where we could have, like, say group 2 could be the group that primarily supports, and group 1 can also support but is responsible for anchoring tick sort of thing?
100%. You could do that. You could set it up so that one group is 100% full-time on this point unless stated otherwise. And then, say, group 2 is a bit more roamy. So they are mainly point, but then if they need, they can sort of, you know, veer off, help out top right, help out bot left, you know. Or the other way you can do it is have 1 and 2 allocated to a side of the point. So say group 1 looks after left side, group 2 looks after right side.
Is war point capping the fastest capped at 5 people still?
No, so
yeah.
It's
the more on
the outside. You got to have the cap is 5, but that's as long as you got 5 people
above
more than them.
Yeah.
So if you've got 11 and they've got 10, it's basically like one person. It's going to be slow as fuck to tick. That's why it's so important just to get those little tiptoes in, because, you know, you don't have to be on there for long. You just have to keep dipping it in, dipping it out, and it starts generating a little bit of tick over time. And those people on point, that anchor group, those tank groups, they're going to be the ones holding that tick for us. So that you dipping in and out, that's ticking it up, and they're maintaining that tick.
Bumps, sorry, weird question. Is there a residual tick, if you get what I mean? Like when we touch on it and run back out, does it still count as you're in there for a couple of seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right.
So it's not much, but it's if you just dip in and piss off for 10 seconds, it'll go. But if you're just, you know, dipping your toes in every 3-4 seconds or whatever, playing around this edge on the lip of point,
jumping in and out,
jumping in and out 100%. You're surviving, and we're generating tick pressure, and then that makes them start to freak out, and then they stop worrying about these areas as much, and they start looking towards point.
They start diving in, yeah.
Correct. And then when they start diving in, that's when we look to counterbomb them. And when we're counterbombing, I want all bloody groups turning and helping that bomb, especially if the point's ticking up nice and high. The only exception that you could have is if, say, top left and top right here in this little choke point, right where Madam Skull is, if that area up there is really busy and they got respawns pouring in and shit, top left and top right, you guys can stay up here and hold this area. you other guys, if you start to win this fight and you got some spare abilities, there's not a bomb currently going, just throw a fucking grav well out there. They're going to run into that. It's going to slow them down. Throw your ice showers, all your storms. Because that couple seconds that you save for them to get to point, we could win the point then.
Copy, mate. Oh, Jazz. Oh, when? Are we going in the fort later?
Yeah, let's
right,
head on in the fort and have a little suss. Have I got any questions about quadrants?
Nope, pretty clear.
What do the healers do?
So, are you serious, Jazz?
Nah, it's alright.
So say, for
Obviously,
example,
Jazz.
let's say half your group goes down and you're playing a quadrant. Is it okay for you to move to a different quadrant so you got support, or do you want to still stay in the same quadrant even though you're missing people?
You want to be calling out what's going on in your quadrant to your group. So if there's fucking 10 blokes there and there's 2 of you guys up, then shit no, you don't want to be fighting that. You're just going to throw your lives away. Yeah, at which point that might be the best option. If your guys are dead and there's 10 seconds or 5 seconds left on a respawn, it might pay to come back with them. If you're just going to get killed and there's nothing you can do, then you're almost better off getting killed so that you can respawn with your group and then run back as a full 5-man.
Would another potential option be if they're sort of fighting close, say bottom left's just been flanked, they've got 2 people left, there's 6 reds on them that have wiped them, those 2 people could also tuck in with the point groups with the fortifier.
100%. You can start to bring the pressure back to point a little bit. You know, bottom right might clear up what they're doing, and then they might notice that bottom left's in a bit of trouble, so then they can sort of push in behind and start giving support from behind.
So what I'm hearing is it's okay to take initiative to value your life.
100%. Your life is very, very important. If you jump into a clump and die, you're not dealing damage. You're not fucking holding area. You're not holding pressure or point.
Plus, if you're throwing away that, say those last 2, say Cool and myself are up in bottom left, and if we throw our lives away, remember that 35-15 we were talking about before? All of a sudden, you've put more pressure on your teammates because there's 2 less people. So, much like anything, whether it's an MMO or shooter or whatever, a 1vX situation, X being multiple, so 2 or more people, is always a very frowned upon fight. So you want to make sure you've got numbers in your fight. And so yeah, right, you might have Thug and Baron, they're super fucking duper duelers, right? There's 5 people they're up against with 2 people. Yeah, they might be able to get them in the arena or whatever. Might be a 99% chance. But if we pull back to point for 5 seconds, get the tank groups in or another group helping, 99% goes to 100%, and we've just made it a fucking 8 on 6.
100%. 100%.
Would it be worth healers having axe for gravity well as well?
No. As a healer, you really want rapier. There are healers that do run like ice gauntlet and hatchet because they can get away better with it. But that all just comes down to how you can get away.
Comfortable with escaping.
Yeah, you should always start with learning the rapier. It should be your base to getting away. Anything after that's like specialization, and you've mastered rapier, and you think you can do something better with another weapon. Because as you verse better teams as well, they'll just fucking absolutely hammer the healers, and you need to be unkillable.
That's what I found last night. Is that when you're using rapier, when you've got good kill squads, rapier only does so much. Yeah. And that's why I was actually thinking about getting a flail into my build instead, because I could get accelerator barrage, but also the not unstoppable, just to sort of get myself going.
Lots of different ways to do it. With the rapier, I found when I was dying a lot as a healer, it's because you were using the abilities too late. So you need to be aware of what's around you a little bit, and using your ult to have a look around while you're casting. And if you see somebody coming, you're using your fletch or flurry or whatever the hell it is, the little spin earlier. So you're putting earlier space against you, and you can pull them past, say, bot left, and they can pick up the fight. Then you can pull out.
Yeah,
but that's just all with experience.
Something like burnout and the fire stuff. That way, our healers.
No. It can get stunned. There's shockwaves and stuff going everywhere.
Okay.
I found it pretty easy doing that sort of stuff, healing a kill squad. But when I was in group 2 trying to be there with the bruisers, it was pretty hard when the kill squads were that coordinated. I had 4 kill squads onto us, and we were dead in 2 seconds. So rapier wasn't going to do shit.
To be fair though, don't base that off that. Try and stick with your rapier, because I pulled up group 1 and 2 into the wrong positions last night, and I made it very hard on everyone.
Yeah.
So that's why we're redoing this, obviously for me to learn a bit too, but everyone to be on the same page, because group 1 and 2 should be back. Whereas in the future, you're going to have top left and top right up there, bruiser groups and people that can grab and do this, that, and everything else, not fucking tanks. You know?
Yeah, we'll be up there next time.
Yeah, so that'll make it a lot easier, because that would have made it 5 times harder on you last night.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of the healers that's got the rapier build want to send or put up a thing for the rapier build. For the
There's already ones up.
Yeah. Just full evade, like the grace tree, pretty much.
Yep.
Except for refreshing strikes. But yeah, anyway, all good.
And people can practice kiting. Like if you run some duels and just get someone that wants to fuck kill you, and just kite as much as you can and practice. Do it in OPR. Do it wherever you can, and just practice.
You should also be going towards your bruisers and your tanks so that they can kill them off you.
That's something that's something I
let your
failed
group
to do.
know. Let your group know that you're being pressured. Tell them if you're going to kite them to them. Be like, I've got 3 guys on me. I'm going to pull them past you. Run into your bruisers. Run through them. Let the bruisers take it up. They'll die very quickly. Assassins are squishy, especially in bombs. If your group can't have,
like your best bet is just
Let's not talk. Hey, whoa. Let's not talk over clumps. There's 30 people in the chat. Don't talk over clumps, please.
Yeah, and like he was saying, 100% the point. If your group can't get to you in time, or you can't pull them past your group and you don't have a choice, just go through point. Pop your stone form, run through point. Go to the opposite side. They're not going to follow you through the point.
If any of the healers would like to practice being chased by an assassin, I can help out with that tomorrow.
Do you know someone, Baron?
I know a guy.
Sorry, mate.
Right. So let's move on to fort phase. Oh, is there any last questions about anything of that?
No, man, all good.
All good.
We're recording this too, so it'll go up on YouTube to be rewatched.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, Flaccid's got it.
I'll make you look bad, bro. Don't worry.
That's alright. I'm already making myself look bad.
I haven't said anything out of pocket yet. So.
Alright, so fort phase. Now, all the wars that we've done so far, we've pushed through the one gate.
Or there's 2. Yeah, early on we were doing 2 gates. I don't like 1 gate, but
what happens when we push through the gate? What are we doing? As soon as the gate goes down, what's everyone doing?
Baiting out the grav wells.
Baiting the grav wells. How do we do that?
Tiptoe it a little bit with maybe a forward group, and then get ready to declump. And you can probably tiptoe it again to bait 2 out, because they did 2 last night.
Correct.
But you don't want 30 people doing it.
When he says forward groups or whatever, it doesn't have to be group specific. The more tanky boys, so group 1 and 2, you are obviously a lot more tankier, so you really want to be up front. So all us bruisers and a bit softer players, we're going to jump to the side, to the back, get out of your way a little bit. You can like dip in a bit, hold your shields up. They're going to go and blow a full load on you. That's what we're looking for anyway. Where if we see one grav well, we're not going to call that a bomb. That's just one grav well. There's still God knows how many left there waiting for us.
That's me spazzing out, yeah.
100%. It could just be one person inting. What we want to see is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 grab wells coming out at that point. That's when we know they've blown a full load and they're not going to be up for, what's the cooldown on it? 20 seconds.
20 plus, yeah.
So that once we've baited that, that's when Breaker will call for the push. When we go to push in, everyone, and I mean everyone, is to pop their cleanse pot and then just go. You do not want to be fighting inside
PvP up on the wall. Can we just kill this guy quickly, please? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Being a fuckhead. Oh, he's gone. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be fighting on the doorway. You want to do your best ever to push through past it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as fighting in the door.
Cleanses, yeah, so you didn't say that.
Well, Mr. Roboto.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, you cleanse and go through, because you'll always hear me call going through with aggression. Don't stand in the door, no matter what you get met with. Left, right, middle, fucking diagonally, whatever. You go in and split their focus, that way they're not throwing 30 fucking abilities in one spot. They've got to break them up into different areas and they're less effective.
100%. So push through your gate. Whichever gate you go through, push all the way through it. Get out into this area over here where my grav well is. This is called dirt. Why is it called dirt? Because there's dirt. So you want to shoot.
Sorry, question. We're just going to go through one gate still, or are we going to just call that at the start of the war when we have
that's going to be debriefed at the start of the wars.
Yeah, and keep your ears out too, because it may change. Like last war I went through one, I just wanted to try it because we did the war like the time before. But ideally it'd be at least 2 gates. And in 12 months time it'll be a fucking regroup at every single gate, and each group will push through the gate at the same time. Like you're not going to rush in like madmen.
So one gate, it's fine as long as we're rolling them. If we're not absolutely beating their asses, we're not going to get through one gate. If our clump's not beating their clump, then there's no way our clump's going to beat their clump trying to push through their little choke point.
Yeah.
Basically, if we wipe them if we're capping C, like the 3rd point, we can push it.
100%. If we get good wipes and they've got little numbers, it's going to be easy to do that. If not, that's when we start looking to push through more gates.
And that's where that second last war as well, you would have heard me sort of preempting the kill their healers and mages that are retreating. They knew they'd lost the flag. We knew we were about to take it, so we had kill squads in their back lines. And we also said, take your time, get the kills, find the kills, put them on a respawn time. And people did. We reacted to it. So that's important as well when that call's made, is to listen to that and get the kills, because they don't just run in and value their life. They have to fucking go into a fort respawn timer now. So that's less people to fight as we go in.
100%. And so does anyone know where they respawn at fort?
4 quadrants.
4 quadrants. Good. Biz, what are they?
Shops. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. I'm not near. I'm not looking at the computer. Sorry.
All good. All good. So the first quadrant. There's top, back left, and back right. You guys are all over at 1. Biz, redhead user at 1. And then there's the front ones, obviously, on them mats. What do you call them? These little ramparts out the front.
These red little structures,
I just want to quickly throw in, it's very good for everyone to know, where you die, you'll spawn at the closest, what you call it, like spawning point out of those 4, kind of thing. So if you die close to like the top left one or whatever, that's where you'll spawn. Yeah, continue.
Yes, 100%. So when we're fighting around in dirt, we're fighting for space. We're just trying to control this outside area. Group 1 and 2, they're going to be on point, being heavy boys, trying to generate and hold tick. Once again, our quadrants, we can just tiptoe in and out of point, trying to generate a bit of tick for our groups 1 and 2 to hold. But we really need to be getting control of this dirt area, and then up back here where Biz and Miller are, this is called stage. This is a very, very popular place for their free casters, such as healers, mages, whatnot, to look back at point and start casting shit for free. If you notice that there's a lot of people up there, call it out in comms. Let Breaker know. And you know, there's 4 mages on stage.
Typically, I've got group 8 and 9 left and right up here, and then I've got group 10 up on the walls and group 7 floating. So we're trying to control the respawns as best we can. Just that when they spawn in, we can hammer them.
Yeah, so when they spawn, Breaker's got himself a respawn timer that calls out to him when respawns are up. He'll let us know that, you know, our respawns just went out. So that means that this top row, back right over here, there's going to be a lot of people spawning in this one little area. It's literally the size of a grav well that they'll spawn. So those groups will know when he calls that respawn timer, that's time to start bombing. You know, you want to start dropping all your spells and abilities on here, because they're gonna spawn in. They'll be there for about, you know, a second or 2 before they actually see where they are. So that gives you a good chance to jump on them and kill them before they even see what's going on, and take them straight out of the game, which gives us more control of the fort.
And it really fucking sucks when it happens to you.
Maybe mention how the respawns work, because I obviously didn't know that until last week, or the 2 weeks ago, whatever. With the respawns, people don't just have a set respawn per player. The respawns are global across all the servers. So the longer you get into a war, say from the 0-minute mark right to the 30-minute mark, the respawn time has become longer and longer and longer. So even if you haven't died for the first 20 minutes, and then you die at 21 minutes, your respawn timer might very well be 50 seconds instead of fucking 6 or something. And with that, people get, it's like a set respawn point. So you might have 18 people respawning in at that one respawn time. They don't respawn in at 18 different fucking times.
Yeah.
So that's where the respawn timer, say if we're coming down to you know, a particular time with the respawn timer, it's just clicked over and we've got 50 seconds left, like I'll be getting ready for a bomb, we'll drop the bomb, that way when we kill them, they've got to sit there for 50 seconds.
Should we try implementing stagger kills, like as soon as once the respawns are like 40-50 seconds, like hold a couple of people from, like we don't kill everyone, if you get what I mean? And then as soon as the tick goes over.
Yeah,
they did that to me and it was fucking annoying last night.
As we progress, that'll come into play.
Yeah, like they literally did it to me last night. It was fucked. It was like,
once we get the basics down, it'll be
people
alright.
do is they'll kill after the respawn.
Yeah.
They'll do their bombs and stuff after the respawn timer. That way,
yeah,
all the people
maximise.
kill
Put them on
as
the
long
long
as
put them on
possible.
split timers.
But that's where, like as I said, I'll be getting a bomb ready before the timer ticks. So say if there's 5 seconds to go on respawns, well, you know, the bomb might go down in 10 seconds. Or, you know, as close to as
Split 'em.
possible.
Yeah. Because once you split them, they're fucked. Yeah.
You guys at the race?
No, we're still
we're at fort. We're at fort.
Oh yeah.
What else have we got to go through here?
So yeah, this fort point as well. This is the only point that'll tick over 5 people. So when we start getting them clears, we're controlling a bit of space. Breaker will most likely, you know, we might have half, quarter tick or something. That's when Breaker will look to tell us to stack the point. And when he says that, he wants every person in the army to be within this circle.
Are you talking about defense or offense? Just so people
this is on offense. This is on offense.
Because I was going to say,
actually, you could do it defense as well. Defense is slightly different. That's what the enemy's going to be looking to do once they start to generate that quarter or half tick.
Yeah.
That's when they're going to be looking to start throwing bodies on, and they literally will just be throwing bodies on. That's when we look to counterbomb them. So if you notice, like all of a sudden, the people that you're fighting have stopped fighting you, and they're starting to run towards point, they're going to stack that point.
So we can, in theory, just bait that quarter tick, yeah? So that they all go into it and clump.
Yeah, they usually get desperate at that point, and you'll hear me call they're getting desperate. And that's when we'll just time a bomb and wipe them and jump on. But one big thing in here as well is different to out on the flags. So out on the flags, like, yeah, people are getting kited around, like Fiend's always being chased by at least 180 people. In here, though, if someone's being chased, you're a mage on 10% health, a healer, fucking doesn't matter. If I say 50 people on point, you need to be on point, whether you're at 1% health or 100 or out fighting someone, you just leave and get on point. So there's been instances where tier 1 teams, we listening, Patchy?
Yeah.
There's been instances with tier 1 teams where all 50 boots were called on point within the last, I think, 20-30 seconds of the match, and they lost because they had, I think it was 5 to 8 people off the point. They missed it. They couldn't even see the gap on the tick on the flag. They almost had it full. If they had those other 5 to 6 people or whatever on the flag, they would have won that tier 1 match. So because 5 to 8 people didn't listen to the call, they lost the entire match and let 50 people down. So that's why it is so important. So that 99% thing I went through earlier and taking things to 100, so you're not leaving any risk in there, that's that. So
I'll see if I can find that VOD. I think I've got a snippet of it somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
And I'll chuck it up in media because it was like heartbreaking. These guys put fucking everything into it, and it was their last ditch effort that wiped people. The point, as Breaker was saying, you could not see the tick, but there were still healers, assassins playing out here on dirt, not on point. And if they had just stepped on, all they needed was one person, 2 people, to just dip their toes in, and that would have popped the win, and they would have fucking got the fucking war. But that didn't happen because they were too busy over here inting, just trying to get their stats up. When you're in a war, your stats don't mean shit. All that means anything is the win or the loss.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we're playing for each other. We're not playing for ourselves.
Yeah, it's a different mindset to OPR.
100%. It's not OPR. It's not duels or 3v3s.
Most important thing is to win.
Playing for a company. We want this win so we can get this land, we can get money, and then we can upgrade gear. It gives us more content.
And yeah, function as a team a bit better. We can enjoy it a little bit more too. Just getting beaten and, is not always fun. Unless it's a close war or a competitive war, then it can be fun.
100%. And as we progress and get better, the wars, it's not going to be like them stomping wars where we just push through them and, we win in 4 minutes or 6 minutes. The good wars that you fight, they're going to go for 20, 25 minutes. And the only reason you're going to be getting the win, and how you can tell that two teams are very even and well structured against each other, is when those wars do drag out, and the wins are basically just based off of those respawn timers. If you get them kills 10 seconds too late, then their respawn wave's coming in before we tick the point, and we're all stacked here on point caught with our dicks hanging out, and they're just going to counterbomb us and wipe us.
Yeah, copy.
Very good. Maybe the quick rundown on the destruction of shops on an offense.
Alright, so offense as well. If we're not rolling them and it is a good tough fight, most of the time our first push in, we're going to be pushing up to these shops. Where I am up here, there's 2 shops. This one over here gets, what did we speak about earlier? What can you get from that shop?
Cleanse
bots. That's massive. That's massive. If we take that away from them, they can no longer get cleansers. So they're in a lot of trouble. All them plagues, all them weakens that we put on them, they're going to be staying on them now. They're not going to be cleaning them. The second most important is over here. There's this little thing with cannons and all that in it. This is the siege supply cart, or siege supply shop. This you can get repair parts from. Now, repair parts they can then use to fix this shop. They can use it to come over to this gate and put that gate back up. Now all of a sudden, all of us that are trapped out inside here fighting, we don't have any respawns coming in, and we can't just get out because there's a gate up now. All our respawns coming in are going to have to knock that gate down, and it's going to take a long time with 1 or 2 people there. So a lot of the times, our first push that we're going to do, we're going to be coming in, you'll be jumping up on this cart, and then just bombing the absolute shit out of this area.
Do we have people on the horns and stuff?
Pretty big player that
on defense, if you're a mage, maybe not healers, but if you're a mage, maybe a VGIG could as well.
No, I meant like on offense if we're attacking it.
Oh, on offense, no, we don't have horns. We can, when we're trying to break in the gate, our healers and our mages, don't worry about shooting anything with range. Don't worry about shooting the gate. Our melee are going to take care of that. You should be looking up at these horns and taking them out. They provide a massive buff to them. I think it's like 400 health per second plus
and regen 1%, or something. Yeah.
400% health regen, stamina, mana, everything. They're a massive help. And then same goes for defense. When we're defending,
blow
our mages and stuff. Whenever you respawn, just come past. It takes 2 seconds. Press E. You'll stand there for probably, I think it's like 4 seconds that you blow it for. But everyone in that quadrant that's in front of this horn here will be getting a buff from it.
Comes up to about here. It's a pretty big radius.
So when you die, respawn. It's probably a good idea to,
respawn. Go to the shop. Go to the shop. Get some cleansers. Make sure you're not out of cleansers. Toot your horn. Jump down. Help your group.
And you've helped a shitload of people just by doing that.
100%.
Heard a shitload last night. They were doing it.
Dumb question. Can you get the cleansers on offense from the flags, like how you do when you get the
yes,
point?
Correct. Until you lose it. As long as that point's yours, you can have it, except for the center fort point.
What about the main? You can't get it from the fort.
You can't get it from the fort.
Okay.
You can get it from the outside flags, and then in fort, there's 4 shops. There's the front, and then there's the 2 at the back.
Sorry, I got to jump out. Thank you, though. That's very informative.
Thanks, Ben.
See you, Dan.
See you, Bert.
Oh, look at them little season 4 boys. They shit themselves. We've got PvPs coming now that the race is on.
Yeah, the race has started.
They ain't doing shit, bro.
We right to finish that up then. And this will go up on YouTube as well, so we can rewatch it as you see fit. Plus the original War for Dummies with a few other call outs and what things.
Can I just mention, was someone going to touch on the builds that you guys are
not
looking for at the moment?
Not for this. That's all through the Discord, so we can.
Yeah, right.
That's more so chatting to people on this builds up in the PvE and PvP section of the Discord. But you know, we might be able to do something like, I don't know, like a basic chart on, hey, this is where it starts.
We could do a gear night, go over people's gear and give you some help if you want.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Even
perfect.
grouping up a few people that are all looking to do similar things.
What the?
And that's where, just quickly too, I want this to be in the video. Hopefully we're still recording. But
there's my data. Oh, sorry.
1 sec. Yeah, the groups. There's a lot of a small handful of groups that are actually working with each other during the week, having fun in OPRs and training things. Flaccid's group at the moment is by far the best group we have. It's the most organised. People are doing what they're doing. You know, there's other groups that are already formed and super experienced, but no one's putting the work in like these guys. So it's a good example of just, you know, having a bit of a practice, have your fun. You know, whether you do a dungeon together or bloody do an OPR together or arenas, just doing things together and getting a bit of synergy really adds up.
Yeah, get to know your group well. Is it going to be besties for 30 minutes every time we war? So it's good to know how each other plays, so you can play and complement each other.
That's
me contender. Got to get along.
The groups being this, we've got static roster groups. So there are some people that are in a static roster. There's people here that aren't also in a static roster. To essentially be in the static roster now is just more so you're willing to play, willing to be part of a group. You know, you don't have to make it your life by any means, but it's just, oh fuck, what happened out there? Fuck, that just put me train of thought off.
You don't need to be playing 24/7 together. We're not mandatory, making it mandatory
Yeah.
to run fucking 10 plus OPRs together.
But if you
Play
say
1 or 2 a week
no,
if you can.
yeah,
Get used
if
to
you say no most of the time, or you don't show up, or you fucking don't listen, or you're ignorant, just stuff that just makes it harder for everybody, then yeah, you're not going to be in the static. It's pretty simple, but that's like any sporting team, right, or any social group. You can't just get a free spot.
And on that, if you can't make it, just chuck it in the CMI chat. It's
very easy.
You know, it takes 5 seconds to type in CMI, and it
never an
saves
issue.
us a lot of drama. We're not, you know, worrying about who's going to be here, who's not, why aren't they online, they haven't posted anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's not hard. It's like sending a text message to someone saying, "Hey, I can't come to the barbecue tonight." If people don't sign up to something, if people don't sign up to something, there's no expectation there, right? Unless you're in a static group, like maybe so. But if you sign up to it, whether you're in a static group or not, like let people know, because people are organising shit. So it's the people organising it have all got jobs, families, kids, and lives, and Christmas and New Year's and holidays and shit going on as well. So it's very important just to treat everyone like a human being.
I got a question. Obviously, most of my team last night wasn't really. They're not really on all the time, so that but I want to practice, you know, doing a group of bruisers. So if there's any bruisers that want to do OPR, I would like to practice being on point a little bit more.
Just to call out
closer.
for everybody to know as well, Clumps, Send Nudes, which is Sean, and Biz Chopper are probably our 3 most super experienced bruisers, tier 1 bruisers that are playing for us. Literally could fit into a tier 1 squad. So if they say something, like, it's really good to absorb it.
And for those that don't have a consistent 5 in their group always on, just join the Discord.
Okay, we got some people coming in.
10, it's open.
Oh, let's fuck. Let's fuck.
100% Flaccid, that's right. Like, it's always about Discord running.
Do we want it to cap and we'll go control point?
Yeah, it is green actually. Let the green boys take
Let's
it.
finish this up now anyway, and we'll finish the training up and we'll go and do it.
Sorry to speak over you guys.
Thanks for coming and putting up with me talking. I know
you did great, mate. Thanks very much.
Not very well worded.
No, it was perfect. It was clear as hell. Thank you.
Yeah, that was super clear. Shall we go to the South Fort?
Yeah, we'll go to South Fort.